So here's my rather extended deceleration and braking at the end of my test run of the new mainline extension, basically, the last one for the initial project. I've actually put on a little bit of throttle there to pull the speed up to 21 because I have a little bit of distance basically before I reach the end of the yard. Most of the train is in the yard now, so on the level. And I will apply the brakes now. I'll attempt a full service, and actually this may be too much actually, because as I said, the brakes seem to be maybe too optimistically modeled, even though I'm going very, very slowly here. So I am now under 10 miles an hour, and I'm going to stop if I don't release the brakes and pull the train forward a little bit here. So I release the brakes, put on the sanders, put the throttle in notch 5, and ease it up back to 10 miles an hour or so. Just to inch it up. In real life I might be making a mistake here, but in the context of the Trainz physics model and the physics file for this locomotive and set of cars, seems to be necessary. So now that I'm coming within visual range of that signal, I'm going to cut the throttle to 0 and apply a second full service application. 20-pound reduction, which is typical for a full service from 90 pounds pipe pressure. And it brings me to a stop pretty much where I should be. Now, I'm going to do one more test. I'm going to look back to make sure the train didn't pull apart, because some of these simulators are actually too pessimistic in that respect. You can pull a train apart really easily in some of these simulators. I find that Microsoft Train Simulator is actually worse in that regard, although it might be accurate for British trains, because their couplers are nowhere near as strong as ours. It looks like my train is mostly complete here. Now, if you have any questions about the mainline project, when I'm going to release it, I haven't completely decided that yet, but I think I'm going to split the divisions up, because as things are, you may have noticed this is a little bit choppy, actually. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting smooth animation on this. So it might be necessary to split it up into pieces, because I've found even when scenery is not on screen, if you have a really huge layout, the frame rate can suffer, and even compatibility can suffer. So I'm going to look carefully at how I can improve the frame rate on this layout without sacrificing quality. And then I'll decide whether it's really good enough for release. I mean, I love this layout for my own use, but I think that for all of you, you would want something that works well, obviously. Especially if it's fictional anyway. We're not making any sacrifices to make it exactly prototypically accurate. I mean, it should run perfectly. So I'm going to have to work on it to make sure we achieve that. And yeah, my train looks pretty complete here. The camera is also choppy. It's very hard putting it in the right position. Again, I think because the layout is maybe too big and it's hurting the frame rate of almost everything. So, where is the end of my train here? This is really long. It's even longer than I remember it. There is my caboose and pusher. So I guess that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hopefully will have more material for YouTube soon, especially when it comes to rail fanning. So thanks for watching once again.